Varsity Stadium on the campus of Butler High School. It's a District 10 6A football matchup between the Butler High School Golden Tornado and the Erie McDowell Trojans. Good evening. This is Ed Cody along with the Swami, George Abraham, to bring you all of tonight's action. George, this is a new territory for Butler. Longtime participant in District 7, the WPIAL, moving over now to District 10, at least for the next 2 years. Last week opened up the season at Erie Cathedral Prep, losing 55-21, while the McDowell Trojans won their opener 36-12 over Erie. These two teams no strangers to one another. The last time they did meet was back in 2011 with McDowell winning 42-7. They lead the series 5-4, and just looking at that, George, one of those Butler wins, I don't want to say how long ago, came during my senior year when we opened the season with them at Pullman Park, the last year that anyone played at Pullman Park, and a 19-0 win on the team that I'm proud to say had 10 Division I players on it and 3 future pros. But right now, Butler contending with trying to snap a 21-game losing streak. Absolutely. It won't be easy, as you know, but at the same time, looking to District 10 long-term, possibly a chance to build the roster up, have a few more players available, etc. But opening up with Prep and McDowell is certainly no bonus. And the schedule is as such, as we've mentioned on the show. It's 2 games with Prep, 2 games with McDowell, 2 at Erie, and the season-ending game at Slippery Rock High School. And you look at the McDowell Trojans, they have an outstanding throwing attack led by quarterback Chris Jukno, 6'2", 212-pound senior. He threw for 199 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. George, he has some big receivers in split end. Braden Soboleski, who scored 2 touchdowns last week. He's 6'3", 183. He has another outstanding receiver in Anthony Emling. And then he has a trio, George, of huge tight ends led by the coach's son, Joey Orlando, who's 6'5", 210, and another tight end, and Matt McGregor, who's 6'4", 198. So they have a lot of size in their receivers. On the other side for Butler, led by their quarterback, second-year starter, junior, Cooper Baxter, who accounted for 227 yards last week, and he has a big target. Charlie Cranebucker, we saw a lot of him, George, last year, starting forward on their WPL championship basketball team. He's now 6'6", and 220 pounds. He caught 7 passes for 75 yards. Butler needs to get a ground game started, a running game. They had trouble with their running game last week against McDowell, against Erie Cathedral Prep. The thing about McDowell, George, they're huge up front. They got huge size up front, and you look for them to try to pound the ball on Butler early on. They always are big. This is nothing new, but with this passing attack, especially the coach's son being one of the receivers, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a good mix, as you say, but, you know, the ground game, Eddie, when things get tough, they're going to rely on pushing those people up front, especially with that size. You look at some of their linemen, 260, 275, 280, 240. Butler's starting a lot of young players, a mixture in there, a number of sophomores and juniors and a few seniors on the team. So a young team for Butler. And McDowell said they lost a lot from last year, including their leading rusher who moved to Florida. But as always, George, they're a very talented team under Coach Bo Orlando. Absolutely. I counted, I think, like 13, 14 seniors, which is probably a small number for them. Butler trying to snap this 21-game losing streak. Eric Christie in his third year as the head coach. Difficult the last 2 years, no question, with winless seasons. But he's sticking with it, trying to turn this program around. And it's going to take some work. We're not going to hedge on that and make it sound easy. It's not going to happen overnight. No, the losses didn't account overnight, and neither will rebuilding, as you say. It'll take some time. I wish them the best. I know it's not easy. I admire the kids and coaches both for being there, sticking this thing out, because it's not easy. It looked down in the field, a nice group of players turned out, and like you said, you give these kids credit. They want to play. They're Absolutely. Coming out there to play, and they're playing the best they can. I want to say this. Wednesday night we did the Butler North Allegheny soccer game, an outstanding win for the Tornado, knocking off the number 4 Tigers 1-0 on Landon Money's penalty kick. And I want to apologize to Butler goalie Noah Wolford. I had the wrong goalie in there for Butler, and Noah, if you happen to listen, my profound apology. Just didn't catch the number, and didn't see it, and I gave credit to the backup goalie being in there, Carson Stein. But Noah, you did a great job, and we hope not to make that mistake again. And Georgia, about the Butler girls soccer team, they knocked off the #1 team, Pine Richland, 2-1.
Outstanding game, as you say. When you beat the top team, that's something to be proud of. And knowing the way the Whippeal shakes out, they'll end up seeing them again at some time.
The McDowell Trojans in their white uniforms almost look like it's Penn State over there. And the Gold Tornado in their navy blue with gold numerals. And the change, of course, the federal court ruling against the restrictions by Governor Wolf. You see they have about 700, 800 they anticipate here tonight for tonight's game.
Yeah, nice crowd. Not what it would be, obviously, but a nice crowd. I see the band on the other side of the field, spacing very judiciously. And so far, it's been a great night. We're about ready to kick it off.
Nice that these parents can come here and,
sure.
and see the kids play, and also the cheerleaders' parents and the band members' parents. All right, Trojans take the field. They will receive. Back deep for McDowell will be Tate Rashawn. He's one of their outstanding defensive backs, and Anthony Emling, one of their outstanding receivers.
Just like Penn State, the guys with the single-digit unis look fast. I don't know why, but they do.
Butler will kick off. Alexander Titus will kick off for the Tornado. Here's the kick. We're all set to go. Low, skimming kick, scooped up by the short guy up front. That's number 24. He takes it across the 30, the 35, and up to the 39-yard line for the Trojans. And that was Rahami Taha.
Yeah, the idea of the squib kick is to make sure the return men don't get a chance to take it to the house, but you don't want them to start on the 40 either.
First and 10 Trojans at their own 38-yard line. Quarterback Chris Ajukno last year threw for nearly 2,000 yards. 3 receivers split wide to the left. Single setback to that left side.
No.
And it's their running back, the same returner on the kickoff, with turning the right corner, Ramahi Taha, 5'11", 206-pound senior.
206 packed into that frame will bring a punch with it, believe me.
And you look, he has a huge offensive line up in front of him.
Boy.
One of those starters, the left tackle, Avery Brine, is a sophomore, 6'4", 318 pounds.
My goodness, buying donuts for him would be
Motion.
expensive.
Here's a little pop pass down in the middle, and it's a gain. Pick up of about 6 down in the Butler territory, across the 45 and down to the 44-yard line. That's Hunter Hodges on that reception for the Trojans.
Get 6 on first down, that opens your playbook.
Be second, and let's make it 4 at the 44. Nice run up the middle, and picking up that first down is Justo Rivera for the Trojans. Cracks it inside the 40 at the Butler 39-yard line.
First down by Justo Rivera. First down for the McDowell Trojans. First and 10 at the goal 20-44.
First and 10 for the Trojans at the Butler 39-yard line. George, this is something we were worried about initially because of that huge size differential in favor of the Trojans' offensive line. Butler with a 4-man front, doing some stunning. Here's a sweep to the right by Emling, and he cracks it down near the 35-yard line.
That play, Eddie, you see it more and more. Used to be they run that jet sweep. Now they give it that little toss, and if it were happened to be fumbled, it's an incomplete pass.
So we get a penalty against the Trojans. That'll nullify that 6-yard run. March off 10. Ball moved back at the 48-yard line. 1st and 20. Off tackle on the right side, down inside the 45 to the 44 of Butler.
On the carry, number 21, Chester Rivera.
Rivera looks like he can pick his spots rather well, and he runs very patiently.
6 foot, 185-pound running back. They have the big running backs. 2nd and 15 on that pickup. Here come the flags.
Offsides.
Offsides on Butler.
A little creative with a snap count there. About 3 different guys jumped.
Set that front for Butler. You have Charlie Cranebucker and Julian Jones, Ethan Bebe, Peyton McKee, and linebackers Cabay, Green, Orlowski. And that secondary for Butler, Schofield, Baxter, Look, and Schnoor. Yuko back, has a man wide open down the middle, overthrows him.
Good thing he didn't lay that up. He was wide open.
He had Rivera open straight down the pipe.
Right down the seam.
Bring up a 3rd and 15 for the Trojans at the Butler 44.
I'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Trojans.
Well, they're going to say
39.
3rd and 10, they're saying now.
Yeah, they're on the 39.
Three receivers split wide to the left. Quick pass out here, and it's a 1st down. And going down the sideline is Sobolewski, and he's going to take it in for the score. Braden Sobolewski, 6'3", 183-pound senior. Takes it in at the 9:35 mark. It's already for Jukno, his 5th touchdown pass of the year. On the attempt, the extra point is Lenny McLaughlin. Georgie was 55 of 57 last year in PATs.
Not bad. Wow. Wonder if the 2 were blocked. Gets it up in a hurry.
The kick is up, and it is good. So a 39-yard TD pass from Jukno to Sobolewski. McLaughlin the kick. And the Trojans up 7-0, first possession.
A little bit too easy there, Ed. The receiver wide open, and then if you come up and miss him, obviously he's going to go the rest of the way, and that's what happened. You've got to get him to the ground.
7 plays and 62 yards for the Trojans.
With a hold in there.
With a hold in there.
10-yard penalty. Lance Slater. Back deep for the Tornado. And it looks like Isaiah Kelly back there with him on the far left. Try to pick that number up. Here's McLaughlin's kick. Good, high, strong kick, and it's going to sail into the end zone. That's a weapon in itself, Eddie. Make all the extra points. Obviously, he's probably good from 20 and in field goals, and then no run back on the kickoff.
1st and 10 Butler at their own 20-yard line. Cooper Baxter, dual threat quarterback. 2nd year as a starter for the Tornado, just a junior. 6'2", 190. I don't know what the discussion is. Penalty?
Penalty on the Tornado.
Offsides on the kickoff?
No, not 10 yards.
What's this about? Is this unsportsmanlike?
There's a personal foul against Butler.
Personal foul.
Tornado getting first down and 10 at their own 10.
Now 1st and 10 at their own 10. Baxter, he's going to roll to his left, trying to skirt the corner, and there's just no room as he gets out near. He's going to pick up 5 out to the 15-yard line on that sweep to the left.
I'll take that. 5 yards. That's a good gain.
Tackle by number 58, Noah Balak.
Noah Billig, their star defensive lineman on that stop. 6'2", 207-pound senior for the Trojans. Baxter rolls, flips it out here in the flat, up over the 15 to the 17-yard line.
Nice little safe play. You're hoping to break a tackle on that and get up over the first down marker.
And that tackle made by number 4, Anthony Ebling.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 2 out at the 18-yard line. This time Baxter under center, motion. You're on a counter action, and it's going nowhere.
They read that thing all the way.
That was Stephen Green on that counter, but the Trojans are not fooled. That's
Bryce Wood, he was standing there waiting.
And the defensive end, Billig, they're waiting too. So it's a loss on a play.
4th down and 6 for the Tornado.
Loss of 4, 4th and 6. Titus back to punt. Good high kick taken by the Trojans at their own 49-yard line. Soboleski, who scored the touchdown, takes it down the right side, and has a couple blocks, cuts it back inside, has one man to beat. He's going to take it in for the score. And this has been a killer for the Tornado. The early part of this season, George, they gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown last week, and now a punt return here. Soboleski, 51-yard punt return.
They had a right return set up. He had to bring it back a little bit because he caught the ball toward the left side of the field, but a lot of blocking. I don't think he touched.
Not at all. He had an escort down the right sideline. McLaughlin on to attempt the extra point now for the Trojans. And he's on the money. Now here comes a flag again.
Sure, personal foul.
14-0. Let's see what the penalty is.
Oh, they roughed the kicker, didn't they?
And George, I did not see that. 14-0. The McDowell Trojans. Opening drive is 62 yards and 7 plays, and now this 51-yard punt return by Brett Soboleski, who scored both of their touchdowns.
Well, they'll kick from our territory now, too. They'll kick off from the 45, right?
Is that what the call was, a roughing the holder or the kicker?
I thought it was a kicker.
So 2 personal fouls against the Tornado. Well, you know, you put the last one in the end zone, George, so you know where this one is going to go.
Exactly. Yeah, roughing the kicker. It'll end up on the 45. This thing's liable to end up downtown.
Yeah, there have to be some Division I schools looking at McLaughlin.
That keep received for the kickoff for the Golden Tornadoes, number 9, Byron Manchester. Number 10, Lance Slater.
Green and Slater back for the Tornado. Forget about that one. It hit the pole vault.
Yeah, you knew that was coming.
Butler will put it in play, 1st and 10. 7:23 to go here in the first quarter of play. McDowell Trojans up 14-0.
Need a first down or two here to break this momentum and keep the ball for a little while. You can't keep it for a minute and a half and kick it back.
So you look at those two inside tackles
huge.
defensively
Oh.
for the Trojans. They're just big guys. Gideon Sprague, 6', 275.
71 to 6'1", 285.
Big boys.
Yes, they are.
Baxter at the line of scrimmage has a slot to the right. Flanker left. Motion. Straight ahead to handoff to Cabay, and there's nowhere to go.
No. Very reminiscent of Monday night when the Giants tried to run against the Steelers that rarely even got started.
Yeah, Riley Bukowski, the other tackle. 285. Second and 9. Baxter going to roll left. Here comes the pressure, and they're going to drag him down for a loss way back at the 13-yard line. Loss of 8 on a play. Bring up a 3rd and 17.
Receiver was making a double move, Ed, but the QB had no time to get rid of the ball.
And then there was the defensive tackle, Gideon Sprague, who led the charge. He just blew through, no one around him.
No.
A long 3rd and 17 for the Tornado. At their own 13-yard line. 5:50 to go here in the first quarter. Baxter flips it out here in a short screen, and it's a short gain out to the 19-yard line. A pickup of 6.
There were blockers there, Ed, but give the defense credit. It got right to the ball.
Fourth and 11. Cabello that made that reception. Once again, short field for the Trojans is Soboleski, who returned the last punt, 51 yards for a score, stands at his own 46-yard line. Titus back to kick for Butler. Pressure, nearly got it. And the kick's going to go out of bounds. And the Trojans will have excellent field position at about the Butler 40-yard line.
I think closer to 35.
All right, now they're coming inside the 40. Georgie was lucky to get that kick off.
Yeah, they were in there.
And the Trojans get the ball. First down and 10 at the Golden Tornado 35.
1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Butler 35-yard line. Not the kind of field position you want to give them.
No, not with the kind of weaponry they have.
We didn't see prep, but that right now McDowell they got everything you'd want with size, speed.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Veteran quarterback, good receivers, and good runners, and a stout front line. Don't take that line for granted.
Motion. And Juco, the quarterback, he's going to keep it after the fake up over the right side and down to the 31-yard line for a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6.
Yeah, that jet is definitely part of their package. He faked it that time and ran a counter himself, but
he's their biggest back at 6'2", 212.
Good size.
Jukno has him out of the huddle right away. Trip set to the left. They've shown that most of the night.
That was a good play.
Nothing.
There.
Good defensive effort by the Tornadoes. They stack up Ramahi Taha at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Well, they're going to say a loss of 2 on the play.
That was a nice play.
It'll bring up a 3rd and 8 at the 33. Hunter Hodges enters into the lineup for the Trojans, replacing Taha. Rivera split to the right. Double slot formation for the Trojans. Jukno back. Here comes some pressure.
There's no one out there.
He's firing it down the sideline, incomplete. Intended once again for Sobolewski.
Boy, he missed that. He had that. There was nobody between him and the receiver. A good 20, 25 yards.
So 4th and 8 at the Butler 33. You know they're not going to punt.
No. A little far for field goal, though not for this guy too far.
And they're up 14-0. Once again, double slot formation. Jukno looking to the sideline for a call from the bench. Butler jumps offside, so that's going to make it 4th and 3. Now it gives them the option to run the ball.
Absolutely. Make it too hard on yourself when you do that. You have them pinned 4th and 3 or 4th and 8, and now 4th and 3. I mean, too easy.
All placed at the 28-yard line. Look at Sobolewski split wide to the right. He has single coverage unless the safety backs up. Gives the corner some help, which I think they would certainly do. He's 6'3", 185. You want to leave him alone out there? Timeout taken by McDowell. With 3:36 to go here in the first quarter, and the Trojans up 14-0 and looking at a 4th and 3 at the Butler 28-yard line.
Now, you had a good point there. They were going to help with the safety over top there. That would have been too easy.
But the safety was pulled up.
Yes.
Look, I don't know if that was which safety was pulled up, whether it was Baxter or Cullen Look. But certainly you don't want to leave the corner out there. It looked like Max Schnorr. I don't think you want to leave him out there one-on-one with Sobolewski.
I can throw it up high for that matter. You know, with his size. But what I thought the only bad play they've made the first quarter is the quarterback should have kept the ball in that incomplete pass. He had nobody out there.
Now Sobolewski comes split wide to the left here. He's not the only receiver they have. Anthony Emling, and they got good size in their receivers. Fourth and 3.
Oh, geez.
Go wide open, and did he catch it?
No.
Oh, he had a guy down.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. He threw to another guy, and they were both so open that he knocked the ball. It wasn't to him. The receiver that went after the ball wasn't the receiver it was thrown to.
The deep receiver.
Absolutely.
That looked like Hodges, and he was wide open for a score.
All 3 of them were.
First down and 10 for Golden Tornado at their own 28.
That's a break. Now, hopefully they can get some momentum here because that was a sure touchdown.
First and 10, Butler at their own 28-yard line. Boxer rolls to his right, has a man open, and it's complete. Out across the 35 and up to the 36-yard line. And making that reception for the Butler was Isaiah Kelly.
Nice catch and a nice throw by Baxter. That was a good play.
Pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that was a gain of 7.
I'll make it 7.
2nd down and 3 for the Golden Tornadoes.
Out at the 35-yard line.
35.
Trips to the left, slot right for the Tornado. Empty backfield set. Here's a deep pitch. Sweep to the left.
Nice.
Butler going to get a first down.
Absolutely.
And more out across the 45 and up to the 47-yard line.
Nice play.
First down and 10.
Turning the corner for Butler was Byron Manchester.
Nice run by Manchester. Got that first down. Keep this ball. Keep that McDowell offense on the sideline. Gee.
First and 10, Butler out at their own 46-yard line. Off the right side, running room again for the Tornado. Into McDowell territory across the 50 and down to the 48-yard line.
Gain of 6, Eddie. Good gain.
Picked up 6. So Butler showing some momentum here on this drive after stopping the Trojans on a 4th and 3. Baxter on a keeper to the right side, trying to turn the corner, and he's not going to be able to do it. Does get close, picks up a couple before he's flipped out of bounds at the McDowell 45-yard line, and there's a penalty marker thrown in the Butler backfield.
Holding.
We have 1:28 remaining here in the first quarter play. The Trojans of McDowell up over the Butler Tornado, 14-0. That hurts. They had a nice drive put together. A 10-yard penalty marched off.
Happened just about at the line of scrimmage also.
So that will make it 2nd and 14. The ball at the Butler 41-yard line. Double slot formation for the Tornado. Dow showing blitz. Here comes a blitz off the corner, and they're going to run. Baxter gets away.
Nice.
Doesn't get much, but I'll tell you what, he averted a
Yes,
huge sack.
That's a big play.
Breathing down his neck was left outside linebacker Michael Osinski, who's coming on a blitz. So he picks up 3, but avoids a loss of maybe 7. 3rd and 11 for Butler at their own 45-yard line. Butler will take a timeout. They want to talk this over. At least this drive, George, you're keeping the McDowell offense off the field.
Absolutely. Doesn't sound like much, but that extra 2-3 minutes rest, a lot of the kids go both ways, so it's not quite the same.
Now Butler coming back and showing some running, finding some holes against this huge front 7 of the Trojans. We have 1:19 to go here in this first quarter of play. Beautiful night for football here at Art Bernardi Stadium. Nice to see some fans in the stands, and you see the Butler band across the way occupying the visitor stands.
Socially distancing, doing their part, but at the same time, nice appearance and good, clean national anthem before the game, and just a real nice sound.
And having a good time.
Absolutely.
They're having fun over there.
Absolutely.
I know we're glad to be here to do this game.
Yes. I tell you, Butler was given no favors with those 2 opening games. I can tell you that.
None at all.
This team's good.
Then next week they have Erie, and then to repeat the process where Prep will be coming here. All right, Butler at a 3rd and 11. at their own 45-yard line. 1:19 remaining here in this first quarter of play. Trip set to the right, offset running back to the right. Baxter's going to keep it, fights his way, keeps fighting. As he gets close to the 50-yard line, he'll be stopped just shy at the 49. So
quarterback draw, look like that to you, or think he made the decision to keep it after?
Bring up a 4th and 7. Ball right at midfield. I just think Butler looks like they're going to go for it, George. They're going to go for it, going with a long count.
Well, it doesn't give him a first down anyway.
No. There's a snap back to Baxter. Pulls up, looks, fires down the middle, has a man just threw wide to his left. He had his receiver open there right at the 39-yard line. Pass was intended for Stephen Green.
The play was there, Eddie. He was open.
So the Trojans will take over 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. With 28 seconds to go here in the first period. McDowell up 14-0. Opening drive, 62 yards, 7 plays, and that followed. That was a 51-yard punt return by Brett Sobolewski, who scored both their touchdowns. Quick pass over the middle through the hands of the intended receiver, incomplete.
Pass complete to number 10, Henry Hodges. 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans.
Pass intended for Emling. So 2nd and 10. Trojans this time go with a run straight ahead.
Good
off
stop.
The right side. Rivera, the ball carrier. Give him 3 on the play, bring up a 3rd and 7.
They're going to let the quarter end, Eddie.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter play with the score. McDowell 14 and Butler nothing. Well, the Tornadoes seem to have settled down here after spotting the Trojans 2 quick touchdowns.
Yeah, they have. They're playing a little better, made a couple of nice stops on defense. Missed the chance to keep the football. The play was there. The thing about McDowell, I think their coaches are going to get after him a little bit, saying it was a little too easy. First 2 times we score, we get a little sloppy now. I think they may go back to running that football.
Yeah, they had a lot of success running the football with their big back in there, Taha, and also Rivera pounding the way.
Well, as you said, the line's huge.
Yeah, I just looked at those guys up front. They're 253, 275, 260. And 64, the sophomore, he's just a monster. 6'4", 318. Avery Brine.
You'll hear that name in a couple of years. They'll get some baby fat off of him, and he'll be playing at a big school.
Second quarter underway.
Oh, geez.
There's Emling, and he's going to reverse field, take it down the left side. He has more than a first down. He has 1 man to beat. Runs over his own man before he's knocked down. I'm not sure, did a Butler player tackle him, or he just ran over his own man? But anyhow,
hand fighting out there, and that's what happened. Ran up his back.
He picks up 36 yards on the run, 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Butler 11-yard line.
Tornado absolutely stopped that sweep. He reverse fielded and just beat them to the corner. Is he that fast?
He's that fast. He's one of their top receivers. He had a couple touchdown receptions last week against Erie.
Guarantee Erie's got some speed. I can tell you that. I haven't seen him. I just know.
The ball spotted at the 12. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Pass over the middle, complete. Did he score? He scored.
Absolutely.
A quick flip over the middle by Juckno, and I'm trying to see who made that reception. That was their tight end, Matt McGregor, 6'4", 198 junior.
Yeah, 6'4", 198 tight end, McGregor.
So this score comes at the 11:25 mark of the second quarter. Juckno with his second touchdown pass. McLaughlin's extra point, 21-0 Trojans.
And that McLaughlin extra point is good.
Jory, how often do we see receivers of this kind of size, 6'3", 6'4"?
No, absolutely. They have the whole package. The quarterback can throw, the receivers can catch, the backs can go. I mean, this is a good team. This is the kind of team you had every week when you played in the WPIL in that northern section. This is the kind of team you got 4 out of 5 times with Central, Pine, NA, and Seneca.
And McDowell used to be in this
Absolutely.
conference, so they've gone back and forth. What they got tired of was the driving, the bus trips. I mean, 1 week they're here at Butler, next time they're down at North Allegheny, or they have a game at Central Catholic, so that's why they went back up and stayed in District 10.
Well, also, too, the minute Prep didn't play 6A anymore, they were handed the title.
You're right. So that drive, 50 yards in just 4 plays. Juckno at this pace, George, 2 games. He has 6 touchdown passes. 6'2", 212. What are you seeing from him? You think some Power 5 schools could be interested?
I haven't seen his deep ball, that hard out where you have to put some mustard on it. That's the thing that the big boys look for, that 3-step drop and that quick ball out to the sideline. His guys are so open, he's just laying that ball in there rather nicely, to be honest.
Strong coverage by the Trojans that time. Not much of a return for Butler. They will have a 1st and 10 at their own 20. 11-19 here in this second quarter, and the Trojans up 21-0. Motion. Baxter is going to hand it off to his. Oh, he's going to keep it himself, I think. No, he handed it off. I'm sorry. Good fake.
It was a jet.
And he handed it off on a jet sweep. That was to Stephen Green.
Nice run by Stephen Green. Got 8, Eddie.
Second down and 2 for the Golden Tornado. At their own 28-yard line.
2nd and 2 for Butler. That was a doggone good fake, too, by Cooper, and he carried his
Yes, it was.
fake out. Now the officials step in. No penalty. Motion. There's a near collision on the handoff, and Cooper Baxter goes down. I don't know if he was trying to hand that ball off to Isaiah Kelly, but there was a collision there on the exchange.
They blew it up, Eddie.
Well, I'll say they did. Loss of 4 on a play.
Romani blew
36.
that play up. That's what happened. You couldn't tell if it was going to be a fake or not because he got there just as the ball carrier or would-be ball carrier did.
3rd and 6 for Butler at their own 24-yard line. Here in the second period with 9:45 remaining. Baxter back to throw, looking, fires down the right sideline as a man open. Was it caught? Incomplete.
No catch.
He had 2 receivers. There was a miscommunication. 2 receivers in the same area,
Right.
too close to one another, and you just draw defenders all around you. So it'll be 4th and 6 for Butler. They will punt it away. Titus back to kick. Back deep for the Trojan. Sobolewski, he's already had one return for a touchdown.
You know what Sobolewski's thinking here.
Hunter Hodges back deep with him. I like when teams have two back on a return instead of the one. It's a high kick. Sobolewski's going to take it at his own 43. And there he goes down the left sideline. He has one man to beat, and he comes right through the tackle and bulls his way inside the 20 before he's forced out of bounds at about the Butler 18-yard line. They're doing a great job of sealing things off, or Butler's just slow in the coverage.
The one guy they had to seal off, they did an excellent job of sealing him. Other than that, it was clear sailing. Set it up well.
All right, now where are they spotting this ball, though? Did he step out?
Penalty, Eddie.
Is there a penalty on the play? All right, they're going to march it off from where he went out of bounds near the 20-yard line. And they're going to spot it back at the Butler 39. Still excellent field position for the Trojans.
This McDowell defense is stout, Ed.
First and 10 McDowell at the Butler 39-yard line. There's a little shuffle pass up the middle. Butler ready for it, but still powering ahead and picking up some yards. For the Trojans is Rivera.
Tornado recognized the play, but they didn't get him on the ground. He still gained 5.
Still picked up 5. Second and 5 at the 35 of Butler. Slot to trips to the right, I should say, for the Trojans. Sobolewski moves out a little bit more to the right. Here's a sweep to the right and a clear lane and a first down for the Trojans on Justo Rivera's run. So the 185-pound senior running back picks up a first down for the Trojans. First and 10, a pickup of 11 down to the Butler 24-yard line.
Baxter with a great hit there, great tackle. He stood him up, but, you know, the yardage was already gained.
And that initial thrust by that offensive line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there was a big push.
Strong. Quick pass out here, no one around the receiver, and whistles right through the hands of Anthony Emling. He had a one-on-one situation.
And he decided to check it out before he caught the ball. Wide open. He was looking at the end zone.
Yeah, he turns around. He now has a one-on-one
Absolutely.
with a Butler defender. So second and 10 now for the Trojans at the Butler 24-yard line. That incomplete pass stops the clock, 8:08 remaining here in this first half of play. Snap back to Jukno. He's going to keep it, roll out. No, he's going to flip it out here to the left, complete. Butler doing an outstanding job of defending. That looked like it was going to be a big play, but they hold it to a 4-yard gain, which will bring up a 3rd and 6.
No, there's a penalty out there.
You see a flag in the vicinity?
There's a hold.
Rivera received that pass. So they're going to bring this back. 10-yard penalty.
That 10 doesn't stink when it happens down the field so much.
So that changes everything, makes it 2nd and 10. And he moves the ball back to the 30. Well, now they're saying it's 2nd, let's see, 15. That's what it is, 2nd and 15. Well, there was a screen over the middle, but it didn't materialize at all.
That was poorly, bad from the start.
Poorly executed. That screen was intended for Ramahi Taha. 3rd and 15. Slot left, trips right. Jukno rolls to his right, looks, fires, has a man open. Guess who? Sobolewski. And he takes it down inside the 10, first and goal for the Trojans at the Butler 9-yard line. George, he showed some arm strength there in that rollout.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That's what you were looking for earlier. You saw it.
First down goal for the Trojans.
I would think some Division I teams are going to look at him. Certainly some Mid-American MAC conference teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players out there, as you know. Quarterback at North Dakota State might be the second best quarterback in the country.
First and goal Trojans at the Butler 9. Here's a handoff straight up the middle comes Rivera, and he powers his way inside the 5 and down to the 2. Second and goal, gain of 7 at the 2.
That was a good word, powers, because he was full tilt downhill.
He just lowered his head and
Mm-hmm.
moved behind that big, powerful offensive line. The big uglies. They're not going to be at a size disadvantage to anyone they play. And Rivera takes it in for the TD.
Touchdown by number 21, Justo Rivera.
So at the 6:23 mark, Justo Rivera, 2-yard run. McLaughlin on to attempt the extra point. Sobolewski to hold. Snap, the placement, the kick is good. 28-0. McDowell.
And the extra point is good by McLaughlin. And with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left until half, the Golden Tornado.
Well, the Trojans a short drive, George, and went 39 yards in 8 plays.
No, they're so explosive. They can pass and run. They have a big line. They have about every component you would want to be a successful team, and they're going to be reckoned with in not only District 10, but in the intra-district playoffs, because this is a nice club here. And then a good runner meant to Florida. They had another runner.
Yeah, a kid that rushed for, what, 1,400 or 1,500 yards last year.
Absolutely.
Doesn't look like they're hurting in the running back division.
No.
Area.
No.
So McLaughlin will kick it away for the Trojans. They're up 28-0, 6:23 to go here in the first half of play. Pops this from real high. A nice return by Butler.
Excellent.
Out across the 35 and up to the 37-yard line. It looked like Lance Slater. Lance Slater on a return.
Nice return by Slater. Very nice.
30-yard plus return. Butler will put it in play. First and 10. 6 minutes to get on a board here. First and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Got a return of about 32 yards. Baxter brings to the line of scrimmage. Slot to the right, trips to the left. Motion. There's a pitch back. And a sweep to the left. And going down, out across over the 40 was Byron Manchester.
Nice run. Manchester has some quicks.
Manchester's shown us some speed. He picks up 6 on the play. Second and 4 for Butler. Out at the 43-yard line. Baxter under center is going to drop back, flare it out here to the right. And that's Manchester down the right sideline. And he's going to pick up the Butler first down. Butler found a weapon with some speed.
Yes, and a great pass by Baxter. Put it right on the money so he could continue with his run as he caught it. He didn't have to slow down or lean back. It was a perfect pass.
Gives Butler first down at the 44. of McDowell.
The ball will be at the Trojan 43.
Pick up a 13 on a play. Baxter goes up under center again. He's going to roll to his left, pulls, fires, intended for Cranebucker. No, it was caught. It went over Cranebucker's head.
It did.
And into the hands of Lance Slater for the first down.
Exactly
he intended it for
happened.
Cranebucker. And now there are 2 flags thrown at the vicinity of the reception.
Looks like there's another flag on play.
Well, Cranebucker's a 6'6" target, so to throw it over his head, and he had a lot of mustard on that pass.
The personal foul, that's going to
Personal
take
foul
this
against
thing
the Trojans.
to the 15. They're going to be on, what, about the 12? It was happening at
Going to
the
move
25.
from the 25.
First and 10 at the 12.
At the 12.
And looks like the Gold Terrain will have the ball.
So Butler with their first scoring threat here. 5:02 remaining in the first half. They are down 28-0 and desperately need a score before the half. Justin Cabay off the right side. Picks up 3 down to the 9-yard line.
Tough yardage there, Eddie. Tough going.
On the carry, number 43, Justin Cabay, a gain of 3.
Second down and 7 at the 9. Butler can get a first down at the 2-yard line. Baxter under center. Motion. Jet sweep to the left. And no room. Absolutely no room. The Trojans smelled that out all the way. Stephen Green, the ball carrier on that sweep.
He had no chance.
And the outside linebacker outstanding right there waiting for him for the Trojans.
Mm-hmm.
That was Michael Osinski. Loss of 5 on that play. Brings up 3rd and 12. Back at the 14-yard line. They'll spot it closer to the 15. Baxter at his own 20. Rolls to his right. Fires as a man open. Complete at the 4-yard line.
4th and 1, Eddie.
So it's going to bring up a 4th and 1 at the 3. I'll just say it looks like it's at the 4-yard line. 4th and 1. And with 3:06 to go here in the first half, Butler looking at a 4th and 1 at the Trojans' 4-yard line. They're going to take a timeout and talk this one over. Butler showing some offensive drive here,
nice
mixing
job.
in some plays, some sweeps, and some passes. Finding some speed to the perimeter with Byron Manchester. Well, you could tell this is a football night. There's a little chill in the air.
Yeah, fall is here.
I always say that in the fall, everything starts with Friday night high school football, and then you get to your college and your pros.
Absolutely.
It's just great for the weekend. Butler talking this over. Let's see what Coach Eric Christie has elected to do in 4th and 1. You roll Baxter out in the pass run option.
Well, he has to have, he's so important. So at least if the ball's in his hand, you can get it with the run or the pass.
You want to get something on the board before you go in at the half.
Sure. No.
And now the Trojans take a timeout.
Timeout on the field. Timeout.
Interesting defensive coordinator for the Trojans, McDowell. Jerry Slocum's son. He's the famous coach who was at Gannon and then later at YSU. His son Aaron's the defensive coordinator there at McDowell.
Well, McDowell saw with Butler's formation. I'm not sure you get a timeout exactly what you saw that would change anything you had defensively.
Well, he's giving him the old rah, keep him off the board talk, too, right before half.
And I don't think if Eric Christie had some type of run-pass option with Baxter that he's going to change it at this point. You think Butler just tries to run it inside to pick up the yard?
No.
With that beef inside for the Trojans?
They're too big.
The ball spotted over towards the right hash, so you look for Baxter to roll left. The guy who's giving them Butler a lot of trouble trying to get outside to that side is the linebacker there for the Trojans, Osinski. 4th and 1 for Butler at the McDowell 1-yard line. Motion. Baxter's
reverse
pass,
back to him.
And does he get in for the touchdown?
1 yard line.
That's a 1-yard line, 1st and goal.
It's the old Northwestern double reverse pass on the goal line. What they call it, the Philly special in the Super Bowl.
That's what they called it. 1st and goal for Butler at the 1. This drive having started at Butler's own 37-yard line, got a penalty in between that helped out. This is the 9th play in the drive. Baxter's going to take it off the right side. Touchdown.
Nice.
So finally, Butler gets on the board at the 2:35 mark here in the 2nd quarter. Cooper Baxter on a 1-yard run. $63 yards for the Tornado in 9 plays. Titus on to attempt the extra point. A lot of fight still left in the Tornado, down 28-0. They come back here with this scoring drive late in the 2nd quarter. The kick is up. It is good, and there's a penalty marker.
Yeah,
I think almost every kick we've had a penalty.
And that was a false start, Butler.
False start against Butler.
Yep.
I'm going to say, did the center move? And now they're going to move it back, and he'll kick this extra point right from the 15-yard line. Snap, the kick is up, and it is good. Titus's kick makes it 28-7 in favor of McDowell with 2:35 to go here in the first half of play. Butler not a strong inside running team, George, but they have some speed and have gotten to the outside perimeter. Some nice plays both by Cooper Baxter and Byron Manchester.
They're a good athlete at quarterback. Baxter's a really good athlete.
Well, it seems like the Trojans are really focused on Charlie Cranebucker, who caught 7 passes last week. The one attempt to him sailed over his head, intended for him, but right into the hands of Manchester. It kept that drive alive.
They're really dangerous on this return.
Yeah.
They've had good luck with their kick and punt returns tonight.
Tate Rashawn and Anthony Embling back deep for the Trojans, standing at their own 12-yard line. Titus to kick it off for Butler. Low selling kick, scooped up by Rashawn. Finds a seam, dances to the outside, and finally upended across the 35 at the 36-yard line where the Trojans will put it in play. 2:28 to go. Plenty of time for them.
Absolutely.
So if you're Butler now, how much do you want to back off? You can't back off too much, not with this time left.
That was Landon Dubiak made a nice tackle there for Butler on that kick return. They have some speed, this McDowell team does. Yeah, you don't want to back up too far, Eddie. They'll be standing down in the end zone.
Jukno back to throw, fires over the middle, incomplete. Pass intended for Soboleski. And there's some pressure from the Tornado that time.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. They were in there.
2nd and 10 for McDowell from their own 36-yard line. They lead 28-7. Incomplete pass, stopping the clock. 2:23 remaining here in the first half. Rivera goes in motion. He takes it on a sweep to the left, finds some running room, cuts back, fights his way forward. There's another penalty mark thrown right as he reaches the 43-yard line. Gains 7, but let's see, that flag was thrown behind in the backfield, and it's going to be holding against the Trojans. That'll make it 2nd and 20. Move it back to the 26-yard line.
No, they're going back from there.
George, a little bit surprised with their size up front that they're not doing more straight-ahead power running.
Yeah, I think it was a little easy for them in the beginning. They got a little cute, and now they're having a little harder time. But, yeah, they have a big, big line to run behind.
2nd and 20. Trojans with the ball at their own 25-yard line. They're saying 2nd and 21. Jukno back, fires down the middle, intercepted.
Bring it back,
by Butler's Lance Slater. It was intended for Soboleski, and Slater's going to take it down to the Trojan 31-yard line.
Nice play. If we get this in before half, it'll be big.
So Butler will have it now on that interception. 1st and 10.
32.
At the 32. Well, maybe they went to the well once too often there. Baxter takes a snap, rolls to his left. It looks like a run all the way. And there's another penalty marker thrown and a loss back at the 38, 39-yard line. They're probably going to refuse this penalty. They're going to show the loss all the way back to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, you refuse
loss
that.
of 9.
No reason to
take up a 2nd and 19. I think that was a run all the way. We're down to 1:41 to go here in the first half. McDowell leading 28-7. Holding call on Butler.
It'll be 2nd down and 19.
Trojans decline the penalty, so it brings up a 2nd and 19 for Butler at their own 41-yard line. Double slot formation. Baxter flips it back to the inside, and the Trojans are waiting. They just had that play smelled out from the get-go, and no gain on the play.
Pass complete to number 24, Stephen Green.
Stephen Green on that reception.
Nowhere to go.
No gain. 3rd and 19.
Timeout Butler, Eddie.
Butler takes a timeout with 1:01 remaining here in the first half of play. Well, you take a couple shots deep. Well, it's 3rd and 19.
Well, you have to be careful. You don't want to leave the ball in the 42 with 50-some seconds and 2 timeouts.
Well, if you don't make it here, you don't want to leave it there with a chance to throw a long one. So
you got to punt.
You got to have to punt.
No, unless you get half this and you get around the 32, 33. If you leave the ball in the 41, you have to kick it. Because I would assume if it's not a run play, or if it is a run, they'll call timeout. They want the ball one more time.
Absolutely. I was surprised their last possession, McDowell, that they threw it as much as they did because they had plenty of time with their running game. Sometimes coaches, they get a little greedy too.
Absolutely. You start, well, let's try this. This worked. And the bottom line is sometimes you forget what got you there.
And just targeting Sobolewski all the time.
Yeah. There are other guys can catch football out there.
Wow, they have those other receivers, Emling for one, plus the tight end, McGregor. So 3rd and 19 for Butler at their own 41, at the 41 of McDowell. Final minute of play here. There's Baxter, fires. Couldn't hold on to the pass. Right at the 26-yard line. It was intended for Lance Slater, so that brings up a 4th and 19. 56 seconds.
They're going.
They're going for it. Dow's backed off.
Kicked.
No,
quick
it's a kick.
dice.
It's a quick kick, and
Nice.
it's going to sail into the end zone.
Well played. Don't give them a short fill with 50 seconds. Don't test it.
So the Trojans will take over at their own 20 with 50 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. They're up 28-7. I'd be surprised they put it up in the air.
No, run a draw or screen, probably a draw play, and if they get anything, then they'll go from there with the 2 timeouts. If it's a short game, they may just run one more play and go in and talk about it.
Jukno brings the Trojans to the line of scrimmage. Flanked to his right by Justo Rivera. Double slot. It appears to change the play. Rivera shifts from right to left. Now here comes the penalty marker. We have a delay of game.
Time clock. The
I didn't see that. The second, it wasn't even moving, was it?
That's why.
Well, he picked the flag back up.
Yeah, it was a play clock.
Jukno's going to hand off to Rivera and finds a huge hole over left guard. And he comes up over the 30 to the 31 for the first down.
That's what we thought.
Quickly, they go to the line of scrimmage, no huddle. Jukno, and he drops the ball. He picks it up, rolls to his left. Well, he averts a huge mistake and gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Actually picks up a yard, so he ran about 35 to pick up 1.
Not only that, he should have sailed the ball out of bounds and saved the time if they want to score.
Good point, George.
Yeah, that's not a smart play there for a kid with that type of ability.
He used up about 17 seconds.
Absolutely.
So it's now 2nd and 8 at their own 32 with 31 seconds to go. They look like they want to pass. That's what they're going to do. Juco now fires. He's going to have a first down. The receiver, Emling, steps out of bounds after the reception in front of the McDowell bench out at the 42-yard line. pickup of 10.
I'd like to see this kid get a chance at a long field goal to see what his leg is. He's kicking that ball under the track.
Kicked 3 out of 4 field goals last year. The 1st and 10 for the Trojans at their own 43-yard line. Jukno fires. Oh, nearly intercepted.
Nice
Nearly
play.
picked off. It looked like Butler linebacker Cabay had his hands and went right through his hands at the 50-yard line. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans at their own 43. 22 seconds to go. They're going to throw a deep one here. Over here is Soboleski.
That was Steve Green that broke that pass up, Eddie. Stephen Green. Yeah,
Complete down the sideline is the tight end, McGregor. McGregor, 6'4", 198-pound junior tight end. He picks up another first down for the Trojans. They will have a 1st and 10 at the Butler 41-yard line. Getting close, George.
It's 58 from here. I say he has to get 25 more to make it plausible.
16 seconds to go. They're going to take a shot at the end zone. Jukno rolls right, looks, fires. Deep down the middle, incomplete. Pass intended for Hodges. There was some contact at the 10-yard line, no foul. 10 seconds left. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans at the Butler 41. Second and 10, 10 seconds. Quick pop out to the side, down the sideline. Emling on a reception.
I think we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. They're going to take a
50 yards
field goal. He goes out of bounds, does Emling at the 32.
Oh, my goodness. It's on a 50-yarder.
49-yarder. I have it in my books. 50,
Yeah.
George, what's the difference?
Yeah, no. Evidently, they want to see what he can do.
3rd and 2. So from the 40-yard line, it will be a 50-yard attempt by Lenny McLaughlin. Kicked 3 field goals last year and 55 PATs. Here's a snap, the kick. The kick is up. It's going to be short. And Butler's going to have a return on it. No, Baxter
end zone.
Hit the end zone, so he does not have a return.
Now, I think if you're the coach, you know right now he's good from 40 and in. Would you agree?
I
that was too far.
Not bad. You know, give the kid a shot.
Absolutely.
And that brings the first half to a close with the score. McDowell 28 and Butler 7 here at the half. We'll take a quick look at the scoring. First quarter, Chris Jukno hit a 39-yard touchdown pass to Brett Soboleski. McLaughlin the kick. The Trojans went 7 plays, 62 yards in the opening kickoff. And after that, they stopped Butler in Butler's first possession. And at the 7:23 mark, Soboleski returned a punt 51 yards for a touchdown. McLaughlin the kick. And just like that, the Trojans were up 14-0. In the second quarter, at the 11:25 mark, Jukno on a 12-yard touchdown pass to tight end Matt McGregor. McLaughlin a kick 21-0, 50 yards in 4 plays for the Trojans. And then right back, 6:23 mark, Justo Rivera, a 2-yard touchdown run. McLaughlin a kick, 28-0 the Trojans, 39 yards in 8 plays. And then finally there at the 2:35 mark of the second quarter, Cooper Baxter on a 1-yard run, 63 yards, 9 plays for the Tornado. Titus the kick, 28-7. That's where we are here at the half. We'll be back with second half action. Enjoy the playing of the Butler High School band.
The trumpet leaders are Tia Andreassi and Camden Rockcastle. The mellophone leader is Sarah Boozer. The baritone and trombone leader is Malachi Stevenson. The tuba leader is Charlie Lowry. The sequinette dance captains are Olivia Collins and Allie Mortimer. The sequinette flag captains are Megan Lewis and Landis Ruth. And the Butler Marching Band Council chairmen are Emmett Everton and Mason Brentsey. And now we proudly present for your halftime entertainment the pride of Butler, the Golden Tornado Marching Band. This year's band is under the field direction of drum majors Taylor Rensel, Annabelle Schaffner, and Hannah Titley. The band will begin tonight by featuring our flag team under the direction of Megan Lewis and Landis Ruth with Chuck Berry's own Roll Over Beethoven. Ladies and gentlemen, your Butler Golden Tornado Marching Band. Now that the band is into the knack of things, they will feature the dance team under the direction of Olivia Collins and Allie Mortimer, while they perform their second number, made famous by the knack, My Sharona. Ladies and gentlemen, while the band is still planning on having our traditional senior night at an upcoming home game, we would like to take the opportunity while we are out here tonight to acknowledge the seniors in the band. Seniors, as I call your names, please step forward and remove your caps. And ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all of the seniors have been announced. Tia Andreassi, Justin Bima, Julie Bish, Sarah Boozer, Kendra Bach, Madeline Chopla, Olivia Collins, Thomas Cornelius, Peyton Cornetti, Michael Davis, Nicholas Downs, Emmett Everton, Mark Galante, Nathan Gallagher, Tammy Gatto, Declan Graham, Mason Grency, Madison Herdline, Hunter Karenbauer, Abigail Kostelic, Sarah Kemlin, Amanda Kennedy, Megan Lewis, Charles Lowry, Nathan McCormick, Evan McDonald, Alexia Mecklin, Gavin Mills, Allie Mortimer, Joey Orsborn, Rachel Pennington, Vincent Persicini, Taylor Rensel, Camden Rockcastle, Landis Ruth, Annabelle Schaffner, Dominic Scheller, Nicholas Shields, Lucas Schultz, Kendra Sloop, Bethany Sowa, Eli Spinneweber, Haley Stein, Malachi Stevenson, Hannah Titley, Madison Tressler, Michael Vossler, Cade Wheeler, and Wyatt Yates. How about a round of applause for this year's team? For their third song tonight, the band will feature the flag team once again with a sweet little rendition of the classic song, I Want Candy. Finally, to close out tonight's performance, the band will feature both the flag and dance teams as they perform that marching band favorite everywhere, Hey Baby. band is directed by Jeff Croner and his associates, Shannon Dobbins-Beck, Todd Karenbauer, and Lou Croner. The Sequinette Dance and Flag Team directors are Shannon Dorsey and Sarah McLafferty. This is Joan Boozle, the voice of the Golden Tornado Marching Band. Thank you for your kind attention to tonight's performance and your continued support of music education in our schools. We look forward to seeing you again in the near future.
Back here at halftime, the McDowell Trojans lead the Butler High School Golden Tornado 28-7 at the half. They struck quickly against Butler, 2 quick touchdowns to take a 14-0 first quarter lead, and put up a couple more scores there in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes from Chris Jukno, punt return by Soboleski. They were up 28-0. Butler came back though, and a lot of fight left in the Tornado as they finish off the first half with a 63-yard drive in 9 plays on a Cooper Baxter 1-yard run. And it's 28-7 at the half. So, George, what do you look for here in the second half from the Trojans? I think they went to the passing game a little too soon, got a little bit greedy. You know, then they ran the ball up the middle with Justo Rivera behind that massive offensive line. They were very successful with some inside running. I would expect them to go back to the running game a little bit and get it established.
Yeah, but I also think they want to throw the ball all year, so if that's their style, they're going to throw it. They have plenty of receivers. It's almost a choice every time down which open receiver you're going to throw the ball to. But every team needs to be strong along the line of scrimmage, and they did get away from that a little bit.
And for Butler, you know, be paid. You're down 28-7. That doesn't mean you come out and throw the ball all over the place. Keep doing some of the things you've been doing. They put together a little semblance of a running game and found some speed to the outside with Byron Manchester. The running inside has been tough. That's a big, massive interior defensive front for the Trojans. I think Butler, it's baby steps this season, George. You almost say that by series, let's see how we can improve.
Absolutely. It's a tough job, and the only way to do it, as you said, is piece by piece, playing segments of each quarter at a time. You know, let's first 5 minutes, next 5, whatever you have to do. It's not going to happen overnight because this thing didn't get this way overnight.
You look at Butler's offensive line, George, with Brock Popovich, tackle. He's a sophomore. Jacob Palmakeda, he's a junior. The center, Marquise Frazier, he's a sophomore. Guard Derek McLafferty, he's a sophomore. A tackle Ashton Gray, he's a junior. And tight end Charlie Cranebucker, he's a junior. So that entire line will be back next year. Only wide receiver Stephen Green is a senior. Baxter will return. The one running back, Isaiah Kelly. So Butler's playing a lot of young players, which is good to see.
Absolutely. And put another 15, 20 pounds on those guys over the spring and summer, and you get back next year, and all of a sudden you're not the small guys anymore, and you can make some noise in this district. This district can be had. You're only talking about 3 6A teams, and 2 of them will play in the final.
And then next year, I think you go back to a different schedule and not playing a home and away series with McDowell and Prep, which try to give Butler a little bit of a break. I think they were supposed to have some teams like Oil City and Meadville on the schedule. And was it Hollidaysburg, too? They were supposed to play, and the COVID-19 changed everything.
Oh, bad luck for Hollidaysburg last week. They went and got spanked by Baldwin. One of the Baldwin coaches came down with the COVID, so they're quarantined also.
Wow. Both teams back on the field. Butler over on the sideline and the McDowell Trojans warming up in the end zone. So many things for us to talk about next week on the show. Interesting situation. Don't know all the details yet. What happened over at Freedom with the coach resigning after losing the opener. He was 8-4 last year, and they lose an opening game, and there are all kinds of problems there. I never heard of a high school team taking a vote to have the coach ousted. George, just different day and age. We hear something different all the time. But I'm not sure exactly what the truth is. I just know what happened. The coach is kind of reticent and wanting to say too much about it. And now the athletic director takes over as the interim coach. Something's going on in Freedom. What, they've had 6 coaches in the last 10, 12 years?
Absolutely. I'll get you more information on that by next week. But I just know we're getting to a tipping point here where nobody's going to want to do it at some point. You don't want that either.
Well, my question would be, where's the administration in allowing this to happen? I never heard of a team taking a vote like that.
Eddie, you're going to need permission to ask them to run laps at the way it's going.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, the Trojans will kick off. Butler will have the possession here to start the second half. Back deep for Butler. We will have, looks like it's Lance Slater back there again. Looks like Stephen Green.
This young man doesn't give you a lot of kick to bring back.
Here's McLaughlin's kick, and the second half we're underway. He just pops this one. Slater takes it, finds some running room, comes out across the 25 and up to the 30 before he's spilled. That's where Butler will put it in play. 1st and 10. At their own 30-yard line, down 28-7 to start this second half.
Big first series that you want to get this ball and keep it from McDowell and at the same time get some points of your own.
Cooper Baxter, quarterback. Cabay and Kelly, the running backs. Straight ahead. Run nothing there. The interior of the McDowell line, they stack up Cabay. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Randy went all over that play, couldn't even get going.
On the carry, number 43, Justin Cabay. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
285 and 275 plugging that middle for the Trojans.
Big kids in there.
Bukowski and Sprague, 2 big horses inside. There's a quick pitch, toss to the outside, sweeping to the left. Coming up over the 35 and to the 37-yard line goes Manchester.
Nice game.
Check that. That was Snore on that run.
3rd down and 2 for the Gold Tornado.
Third and 2 for Butler out at the 38-yard line. Like to see this come out, run the ball, toughen yourself up. Motion. Baxter's going to keep it straight ahead, fights forward, breaks the tackle,
nice.
And gets the first down out across the 40 up to the 41-yard line.
Nice job.
1st and 10, the Tornado out across the 45 and up to the 47-yard line.
1st down and 10 at the 47 for the Gold Tornado.
Gain of 9 on the play. First possession here, the second half for the Tornado. Baxter trying to sweep to his right, trying to get around white shirts, but they're waiting for him. And he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe picks up a yard. We'll give him a gain of 1, 2nd and 9 out at the 48.
And that was a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
Very hard to get outside on the Trojans. They run to the football.
Yeah, they're plunging up the inside quite a bit. You almost have to bounce out to get anything, and then they have time to react.
The 2nd and 9 for Butler. at their own 48-yard line. Baxter's going to keep it off the left side. He finds a seam, and he's going to get a first down. Just an old single wing play. He's like a tailback and rolls. Good blocking on the left side of that Tornado offensive line.
He's 3rd and 1, Eddie.
Okay, he's short. His knee went down, so he picks up 8, 3rd and 1. At the McDowell 44. Keeper and a first down.
Big surge there by the line. Give the line credit. They moved that pile backwards.
Frazier, McClafferty, and Palmakeda, they had 2 sophomores, a junior. Popovich, a sophomore. And Ashton Gray, a junior. 1st and 10, Butler. At the 41 of McDowell. Trips to the left, slot right. Baxter under center. Motion, the pitch to Manchester and a sweep to the left. The Trojans are there waiting for him. Picks up 2, down to the McDowell 39-yard line, 2nd and 8.
Good lateral speed from the McDowell defense. That play looked like it was going somewhere.
This drive having started at the Butler 30 to start the second half.
Not 5 minutes into it already. It's a good
Already?
drive, yeah.
Baxter's going to roll, keep it, fires, has a man open, complete, down to the 36-yard line. And that's out of the backfield, Justin Cabay, who makes that reception.
Good throw and catch. Baxter, nice ball right on the money. It's strange. When he runs left, he carries the ball in his left arm. But when he runs right, he carries the ball in his left arm also, but he throws it right-handed.
3rd and 4, a pickup of 4. 3rd and 4 at the McDowell 35-yard line, right hash. See about 4 or 5 players looking at their wristbands. Trip set to the left. And a flanker to the right for Butler. Baxter is going to roll left. Fires down, has a man open. His short pass is short. Incomplete at the 24 of McDowell. So that'll bring up a 4th and 4 for Butler at the McDowell 35.
That's a tough throw for a righty rolling left.
Yeah, rolling to your left.
It is. It's a tough throw.
At the Trojans, 35.
I thought they were going to come back with Baxter on that keeper again.
Faking like it's a counter, faking the handoff and then going the other way.
4th and 4 for Butler. 6:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 4th and 4 at the McDowell 35 for the Tornado, down 28-7. Ed Cody and the Swami George Abraham. Here's Baxter going to look, wants to flip it out here to the left, but the play was smothered. There was no chance at all. Lucky that one wasn't picked off.
They were all over it.
Yeah, that pass intended for Cabay on a flare. So the Trojans will take over.
Rivera was all over it, like he knew what was coming.
Yeah, Rivera going both ways, linebacker and running back. Trojans take over at their own 35-yard line, their first possession of the second half, 6:27 mark, and they are up by 21.
Good 5.5 minute keeping of the ball, though, for Butler. They didn't do that the first half.
Here's Rivera on a short sweep to the right side, and he picks up 9 yards.
On the carry, number 21, Justo Rivera.
2nd and 1 out at the 44-yard line.
On the tackle, number 44, Evan Lusky.
Jukno sets the Trojans. 2nd and 1. Here's Rivera straight ahead, first down and more as he powers his way behind that massive offensive line down inside the 50 and down at the Butler 49-yard line. Pick up of 7.
And that was a gain of 6. First down and 10 for McDowell.
First and 10 to Trojans at the Butler 49-yard line. George, this third quarter's flying by. We're already down to the 5.5 mark here of this third quarter. Quick flip out here to Soboleski on a little pop screen. He finds room, turns it inside, down the right sideline, and forced out of bounds at the Butler 21-yard line.
Well set up. Some good blocking after the catch there, Ed.
Pick up a 28. Soboleski is 6'3", 183-pound senior.
Holding.
Tall, rangy, speed, and another holding call against the Trojans.
They can't be happy. That's 3 or 4 of those tonight.
Nullified several good plays for them. So the officials, let's see where they'll march it off from the point of infraction. And they'll bring the ball back and spot it
43.
At the 43-yard line. So he actually picks up 6 yards.
You don't see many 1st and 4s, do you?
So it was a 1st and 4, 1st and 5. At the 43. Well, we'll make it 1st and 5 at the 43. Joe Rivera pops out of his hand, comes right back to him as he turns the left side and gets it down inside the 40 to the 37, and there's a penalty marker.
On the tackle, number 7, Cooper Baxter. On the carry, number
Baxter on a tackle for Butler.
Another hold.
So another 10-yard penalty, and this will bring the ball back to the McDowell 47. Now you have a 1st and 15. Jukno quickly brings the Trojans to the line of scrimmage. Little flare pass out here to Rivera. Gets a block, turns a corner, and gets back to midfield. He picks up a short 3.
Pretty good coverage there. I have
Good
to say,
coverage
pretty
by
good
the
defense.
Tornado.
Yes, absolutely.
A little flare play, number 21, Justo Rivera. And that's another flag on the play.
We have another penalty. They're going to be closing in on 100 yards penalty here
Oh, no question.
tonight. Another 10-yard penalty. Now it moves it back.
First down and 24 for the Trojans.
1st and 24, back at their own 38. Quick pass, flip out here to the right, down the sideline. They pick up half that yardage on a flip out to Rivera.
The pass play, number 21,
Down to the Butler 49-yard line.
Justin Cabay.
Gain of 13. Cabay on a tackle for Butler.
Well, I'll tell you, you get 11, 13, 14 yards back in a hurry, huh? Wow.
2nd and 11 now for the Trojans. Jukno with a quick delivery. He's back. Look, another flare out here to Rivera. They're finding something. He slips and goes down. Looked like he had a lot of running room in front of him. But he picks up just 2. So that brings up 3rd and 9. At the Butler 47-yard line.
Nice tackle by Max Schnorr there. He got him with a sweep of the leg. That's a nice. That kid doesn't get down easy. That was a big tackle.
Rivera set to the left. Sure, one thing you don't see the Trojans do with their size of tight ends is any crossing patterns.
No.
You would think those would be open for them. Jukno looking at the bench. He's getting a lot of signals. He's changed the play again for the 2nd time. Now he drops back, fires down the sideline. It's complete in the 1st down. Is it Sobolewski? It was Sobolewski.
Absolutely.
I lost track. George, what's he caught tonight? 7, 8 passes maybe?
I'd say several touchdowns. The thing you can't do on 3rd and 10, you can't play 15 off.
No, you can't. Not at all.
Because he'll go that comeback. He'll catch that all night.
1st and 10 for the Trojans. And this is after they had 3 straight penalties against them. They're at the Butler 37-yard line. Trips to the left. Fake to, and now pitch out to the left to Rivera. Weaves his way back inside and takes it down to the 30-yard line for a gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Talk about a workhorse. Rivera inside carries out, and then he's caught a number of passes himself here tonight.
Yes, he has.
Oh, we are down to 2:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter and 1 possession for each team. That's how fast this quarter is going. Here's Rivera. Huge hole off the right side. Cuts it back to the left. Fights his way down inside the 20 and down to the Butler 18-yard line, but not before he picks up 12 yards. He has to be closing in, George, somewhere around 80 to 100 yards rushing here tonight.
Oh, yes. He's having a big game.
Well, I thought the Trojans might come back and try to pound it a little more to the inside. 1st and 10 at the Butler 18-yard line. Fake to Rivera, pump down the middle, too far. No, it's decent coverage. Cooper Baxter on the coverage here, and Baxter at 6'2", had no choice. Did Juckno to try to loft out a little higher than what he wanted to.
Yeah, he airmailed that one. That was for sure.
Yeah, he put a lot of sauce on that. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans at the Butler 18 with 2:05 to go here in the 3rd. The Trojans up 28-7. That's the way it was at the half. Split backs this time for the Trojans. Rivera and Ramahi Taha in there. It's Rivera, sweep right, no room. And it finds a little crease and gets across the 15 down to the 14. Looked like it was going to be a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, he made something out of nothing there. Butler defense, lots more difficult to move the ball on this half.
3rd and 7 at the 15, and they don't get it. You're bringing in McLaughlin for the field goal.
Absolutely. I want to see where he can. I'd say 40 and in, he's going to be good.
Strong set to the right. Juco's going to roll that way. Looking, fires in the end zone.
Well, he has
it's
bad
caught.
jump.
I don't know. Is it a touchdown?
No, it went over.
No, he went out. He could have run that one too, George.
Oh, that's 2 or 3 times terrible decisions.
His coach is Orlando's going to point that out to him in a film.
Oh, man.
4th and 7 for the Trojans. Here comes Lenny McLaughlin to attempt a field goal. Ball will be spotted at the 21-yard line.
31-yard kick.
31-yard field goal attempt.
I like the chances. You?
Well, so far, what he's shown us. So Sobolewski to hold. Placement. The kick is up, and it is good.
Oh, yeah.
So McLaughlin's field goal comes at the 130 mark.
And
31-yard field goal makes it 31-7. And for the Trojans, they went 65 yards, and they went backwards half the time,
Yeah.
George, on 3 penalties.
Yeah, they had 2 huge penalties there in the middle of the drive.
You believe they had 16 plays in this drive?
I do. Tell you why, the game clock, minute and a half.
How often do we see that? Each team with a possession, and you're down to you've run out the whole quarter.
Yeah.
Still safe for Butler. You're still learning. You have a young offensive line. Keep trying to mix it up with your running plays and your pass plays. I know the score differential, but you just can't sit back there and just throw the ball every down.
Oh, no, if they know you're passing, absolutely not.
All right, McLaughlin will kick it off. Real high kick. taken at the 5-yard line and swarmed under and dropped right there.
On the kickoff return,
Look at Manchester.
That's good coverage when you hold them inside the 20. That is really good coverage.
Butler will put it in play, 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line. 1:22 left here in the third quarter. The Trojans up 31-7. Trojans jump off sides.
Yeah, just lack of focus.
And once that big guy got moving, Gideon Sprague at 6 foot 275, he's not coming back.
No, Butler shifted a little bit, and he was not watching the ball.
So it'll be 1st and 5 for Butler out at the 23. I'm moving out to the 25. Motion Green. Baxter on a keeper off the right side, comes up over the 30 to the 32-yard line.
On the carry, number 7, Cooper Baxter. And that was a gain of 7. 1st down and 10.
1st and 10, Butler. Out at the 32-yard line.
At the Gold Tornado, 32.
Baxter setting his offense. We're down to 53 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Green comes in motion. Fake to him. Baxter rolls left.
Nice
flips
flat.
it out here in the flat to Cabay. And he gets right up to the 40, maybe to the 41-yard line. They're going to say he was down at the 40.
Nice, well-conceived play there. Fake to him, the rollout, just real nice.
2nd and 2 for Butler out at the 40-yard line. .14 seconds. This could be the last play of this third quarter. Trojans come on a blitz, and they're all over the place. They filled every gap in that line of scrimmage, George. They brought all linebackers. Baxter stopped, maybe loses a yard on a play. And that is the end of the third quarter of play. He did lose a yard. At the end of the third quarter, in an unusually super fast quarter, the Trojans lead Butler 31-7.
Tornado a little more competitive there, holding their own.
Yeah.
Actually, pretty nice stop, holding them to 3. You'd like to see them get the ball and drive it now and really make a statement for oncoming weeks.
I like the fact that Coach Christie's gone with a lot of underclassmen and young kids on that offensive line. It's only going to help them. I think the progress they make each week, and I know you're saying that don't talk about, but next year you get the whole offensive line returning, and the valuable experience that they pick up this year are really going to help them out. This is how you start to build things back up.
Absolutely. It doesn't happen overnight. We said it before. You don't want to belabor the point. It didn't happen in a few days or weeks or months. It's not going to be resolved.
George, this has been going on for 25, 26 years. And make this point, how long it's been. The last time Butler had a winning season and made the playoffs when Coach Bill Bourne was here, and that was in 1993. So look how long ago that was.
And he's still coaching over it now. He's 87 years old.
3rd and 3 for Butler. Baxter back. He wants to throw. Fires
Nice.
deep down the sideline. Has a man open just over the fingertips of his intended receiver at the 40 of McDowell.
It was there.
Let's see. Was that intended for Stephen Green? I think it was. 4th and 3.
Fourth down and 2 for the Golden Tornado.
So no sign that Butler's going to kick it away, and the Trojans have no one back. Baxter under center. Motion. Fake. Baxter rolls to his right, now flips it out here in the flat. Complete. It's just an outstanding defensive play by the Trojans. That play took too long of a pass, and they were able to
No, and he didn't have the first down anyway.
Right, would not have been the first down.
No. See, now you give him the ball in a 40-yard field. That's the problem with throwing that ball on third down. If you know you're going to go for it on fourth, you might want to run it on third, because now here you are giving them a 39-yard field.
Trojans take over 1st and 10 at the Butler 40-yard line. I look for them to go right back to their running game. They had a lot of success with it on that last drive. McGregor, the tight ends, split over to the left. Romani Taha, he's the ball carrier, comes inside the 35 of Butler, down to the Butler 34 for a pickup of 6. Well, you take Rivera out of there. He's 6 foot 185, and you replace him with Taha, 5'11", 206. Not bad.
No.
2nd and 4 for the Trojans at the Butler 34-yard line. And there's Romani Taha. He's going to get the first down as he powers his way down inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. I just expected them to come back and do this.
Well, they're moving the power now quite a bit. He runs a little high for me. I'd like to see him get his pads down a little bit, but they're definitely controlling the line now. Butler D's been out there quite some time. Not this half, but the entire game.
1st and 10 at the 26. They're going to pass deep down the left sideline.
Well, he was
off
open.
the fingertips. He was open.
See, they ran the man to the sideline, and the D came up for a second, and he ran the fly there. He was open. I don't like when they put one hand up. Geez, I don't.
Neither do I. And Sobolewski was not the target. That looked like that was Anthony Emling, who was the intended receiver. Incomplete, stops the clock. 10:44 to go here in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, Emling wishing he had that one again.
2nd and 10.
Keeper.
And he's going to keep it off the left side. There's Chris Juco. And he gets a first down for the Trojans.
Flag. Hold.
Hold number what, 5 or 6?
I'll know one thing.
They just turn around and keep walking back.
I'll tell you, if I'm a McDowell coach, they're there tomorrow morning and they're running. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. That's about 6 of those. You can't be happy with 6 holds.
No, it's killed several of their drives. So now it brings it back on a holding penalty all the way back to the 36-yard line. So we're going to have a 2nd and 20 at the 36. Judko hands it off. The sweep to the right side by Romani Taha.
Sounds like a BYU running back, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. He picks up 6 down to the 30-yard line. 3rd and 14. Jukno fakes, pumps, fires down the middle, complete to Sobolewski for the first down. Inside the 15 at the Butler 12-yard line.
One thing
Pickup
about
of 18 on the play.
He doesn't miss them.
First down and
Does he yet? He catches that ball.
George, this kid is, some Division I schools are going to definitely take a look at this kid. But his size, at 6'3", 183, he's going to be a 200-pound receiver someday.
14-yard line of the Golden Tornado.
First and 10 at the 13 for the Trojans. And on the keeper to the right side, and a touchdown goes Chris Jukno on a 13-yard run.
Number 2, Chris Juno for a touchdown. McDowell.
So that score comes at the 9:10 mark here of the fourth quarter.
And for the extra point, McLaughlin, number 35.
Jukno on a 13-yard run. That brings on Lenny McLaughlin for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. 38-7, McDowell.
And the extra point is good for McLaughlin.
So for the Trojans, they went 40 yards in 7 plays.
38-7.
You know, when I say about Sobolewski, George, I don't necessarily mean some of the big Power 5, but I mean the Toledos and the Miami of Ohio's and those schools, Ohio U, they would be interested in a kid with his talents and his size.
Check his speed. Hey, Slippery Rock has a guy the pros are after all the time. Yeah. You don't have to go to Ohio State to go to the pros.
And this kid got some speed.
No, absolutely.
Very good out.
He catches the ball with his hands. That's what I like.
I did too. I wonder if he plays basketball or some other sport. He looks like he's a pretty good athlete. Well, George, I lost track as he caught 8, 9 passes here tonight.
Absolutely.
Big night for him. Here's McLaughlin's kick. Lofts it high and taken by Slater at about the 4-yard line. And he brings it back up over the 15 to just about the 20-yard line where Butler will put it in play.
Good coverage all night by McDowell. You know that, Ed. They've done a real nice job of pinning Butler inside the 25, inside the 20. That makes for a long night, long field.
But George, let me ask you something. The Trojans haven't punted.
No, I don't think they have, no.
First and 10, Butler at their own 20. 9:03 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Trojans up 38-7. Baxter's pass over the middle, complete. And a first down for Butler out at the 34-yard line.
Nice throw.
Charlie Cranebucker in his first reception of the evening.
Good grab by Cranebucker.
Pickup of 13 on a play. Double slot formation for Butler. Baxter back, looking, fires deep down the middle to Cranebucker. Intercepted by the Trojans. Threw it into the double coverage and picked off by their safety. And that would be number 13 for them.
Oliver Petch.
Oliver Petch.
He was all over that. He was
he was coming up for the ball
Absolutely.
as soon as it was released.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He saw that one coming, playing center field, and he's playing the quarterback's eyes, and he absolutely read
And he collided with another defensive back, and that defensive back is down for the Trojans at the 42-yard line. So McDowell will take over, leading 38-7, 8:30 remaining here in the game. And they have the football at their own 47-yard line. Well, you think at this point that Coach Orlando would just want to run the ball, run some clock, and get out of here with the win?
Well, I would say
You want to throw it anymore?
He can't be happy with the holding penalties. You know, these kids
No.
are all on their knees here like, hope this isn't a serious. Oh, good, he's getting up. I am glad because I was a little worried.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him because Pesh came right in. Pesh made a beeline for the ball. He read it and took off for it right away.
Well, you know, this is big boy football. I mean, it's not as though somebody said, well, what are they doing with their starters in this? Personally, I would sub at this point 8 minutes and a 4-touchdown
That's his
lead.
best defensive back, Tate Rashawn.
Well, there you go.
You're not going to put – why put him in again?
There'd be no reason. Same with the offense. Get a look at your young kids.
I'm getting my quarterback out of there.
Absolutely. They don't do it. They usually don't. You watch these games. Last week they were on one coach, I forget. Oh, the Ravens coach. He's up 5 touchdowns, and he has his quarterback in there. Don't cry if he gets hurt.
Well, let's see who's at quarterback for the Trojans as they take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. And I think they have a change, George.
17.
17 would be Jacob Skolnick, a junior quarterback.
There you go. You know what's happened, Eddie, with the shortage of JV games and junior high games. It's not like the old days where your JVs are going to play tomorrow morning. Chances are there isn't one.
Ray Jackson, the ball carrier, he's a sophomore.
Second down and 4.
Picks up 6 on the play. Sophomore running back, he's 6 foot 180.
Ooh, that's...
Skolnick hands off again. Same ball carrier on the play, Ray Jackson. And he gets it down to the Butler 45-yard line.
You know, 6'1", 180 sophomore translates into 6'4", 225 senior. Jeez.
And a quarterback, he's good size too.
Yeah.
Skolnick is 6'1", 211 junior quarterback. 3rd and 3 for the Trojans. And Butler jumps off sides, going to give the Trojans an easy first down. Ethan Bebe offsides for Butler. So it gives the Trojans a 1st and 10 at the Butler 41. Down to 7 to play here in this 4th quarter. The Trojans up 38-7. Snap back to Skolnick high. He goes up, takes it down. He's going to keep it off the left side. And he powers his way to 211 pounds. When you have 2 quarterbacks, 212 and 211.
That's what I'm saying. They're big kids. Sometimes you lose track. I noticed down here because the Cranebucker kid's a good-sized young man, and these guys are bigger than he is.
Yeah, well, Cranebucker, they list him at 6'6", 220, but these guys are stout. 2nd and 5 at the 36. Of Butler for the Trojans, and they're just taking their time. They're letting that clock run down to 6:20. Looks like he has a whole new, a lot of new white shirts in there in the offensive line too. There's Jackson, dips, takes it to the outside, back inside, powers his way for a Trojan first down.
He's a tough runner, Jackson. Boy, boy.
He's a sophomore.
Oh.
6 foot 180. Speed and maneuverability.
Think of James Conner. That's what I think about. Think of McDowell.
I wouldn't hesitate putting him in there with the first offensive line.
No.
He picks up the first down, 1st and 10. Picked up 13 on the play. 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the Butler 23. There's Jackson again. Just gets 2 yards down to the 21. 2nd and 8. Coach Bo Orlando content now, George. He wants to chew the clock up.
2nd down and 8. Ball will be spotted at the 21.
Yeah, I think he's seen what he wants to see for tonight. Just clean up those holds, and he'll be happy.
Skolnick takes a snap. They want to throw. He fires way over the head of his intended receiver. Not even close. Down at the Butler 8-yard line. That stops the clock. 5:11 makes it 3rd and 8.
You know what I'm rooting for?
That caught me by surprise.
40-yard field goal here. That's what I'm rooting for. I want to see just what this range is for the kicker.
It caught me by surprise, but maybe when to see Skolnick throw the ball.
Sure. Oh, no, he's got the subs in there.
There's Jackson. Hole, right side, puts his head down, gets a first down, inside the 15 and down to the Butler 13-yard line.
Lou Holt said to Bobby Bowden once, he said about pouring it on, and Bobby Bowden said, Coach, he said, I can only coach one of the teams.
Yeah. First and 10 at the 13-yard line for the Trojans. They talk about changing quarterbacks. That time the Steelers are getting killed in Cleveland 51-0, and Noel turned to Bobby Brister and said, get in there, and Brister said, I'm no mop-up. Only Bobby Brister would say that.
Absolutely.
There's Skolnick. He's going to keep it off the left side, takes it down to the 5-yard line, pickup of 8, 2nd and 5. Well, I know about Bristol. They asked him what he remembered about playing in Pittsburgh. He said that cold air coming off the lake.
Cold air coming off the lake. That's, yeah.
2nd and we have about 3 for McDowell. There's Jackson. And he's going to get the first down. 1st and goal to 2. I expect Jackson to get it again. Coach Orlando wants to see him with a score. He's done the heavy work here on this drive. This is the 11th play in the drive coming up for the Trojans. It started at their own 47-yard line. No, Skolnick's going to keep it, and Skolnick's going to score. Jacob Skolnick on a touchdown for the Trojans. That's at the 3:30 mark. Same kicker? Or do they change kickers here, George? Is it still 35?
He's turned sideways.
No, it's 33. That's the backup kicker, Alex Southmeyer.
Everybody in the pool.
Get them all in. (45-7), the Trojans. (53 yards in 11 plays. So look, George, they've had drives here tonight of 62 yards, 62 yards, 50 yards, 65 yards, 53 yards, and 40 yards. So 65, their longest. They've had some short fields.
Yeah, you can't. They're too good for that.
It looks like South America will kick off. Maybe there's McLaughlin back in there to kick off.
35.
That's McLaughlin.
To 5.
Taken at the 5-yard line by. Wow, what a tackle coming down on special teams. And that was that Manchester returning it for the Tornado? It was.
That was a stick by 30, too. Mike Kaczynski, that was a stick in that kickoff.
He's the outside linebacker that's caused Butler a lot of problems here tonight. So 1st and 10, Butler at their own 17-yard line. Well, you look how many times Butler started around their 20 or inside their 20 here tonight.
We said that before.
Long field all night long for the Tornado. Handoff right side, a quick pop, and then how fast that hole closed out to the 20-yard line for a 3-yard gain.
Second down and 8 for the Tornado.
Pickup of 2 on a play. So second down and 8. Baxter rolls, flips it out here in the flat. Pass is complete. A nice big gain down the left sideline for the Tornado. And a first down all the way out across the 45 to the 46-yard line on a fine play, a run and reception for Butler. And making that reception for the Tornado was Landon Dubiak.
Nice speed.
Sophomore.
Boy, he showed some speed there, Eddie.
Yes. Did he return that kickoff too, George?
That's nice. Jeez. I'll tell you.
First and 10, Butler out at the 46-yard line. And Isaiah Kelly always popped hard right there at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Number 4, Isaiah Kelly. No gain on the play. Second down and 10 for the Gold Tornado.
Second and 10 out at the 46. That pass and run play was good for 35 yards.
Yeah, big game.
Kelly goes in motion. Firing, ball deep down the right sideline and caught. No, incomplete.
Good fight for that ball. Both guys, McDowell defender and really, really nice hand fighting.
And quarterback is Max Schnorr. He made that throw.
It's on target.
Nice arm. Incomplete pass, stops the clock. No, they're running it because, I'm sorry, the mercy rule, George. Just didn't.
Yeah.
So it brings up a 3rd and 10. We're under a minute to play. 3rd and 10 for Butler at their own 46-yard line. So Coach Christie putting in a lot of the other players, younger players. Kelly goes in motion. Here's a little scissors play, a cutback, a handoff. And that's Stephen Green, the ball carrier. He gets it right to midfield. We don't have time for maybe one more play. It's going to be 4th. 4th and 6, close to 4th and 7 for Butler at midfield. This will be the last play. We just have 10 seconds. I'm not even sure they're going to run one play. That's it.
That's it.
That is the end of the game with the final score. McDowell 45 and Butler 7. George, your thoughts on the game?
McDowell with a very nice squad. Big, huge offensive, defensive line. Make it very, very difficult. They controlled the line of scrimmage. Got the best of the passing game with some big plays. They're going to be hard to beat. For Butler, obviously, a learning experience. You just have to take your lumps right now and hope down the road you put 15, 20 pounds on 7, 8 of your guys. You add a 10th or 2, take it off to 40, and next year you're doing the thumping.
Yeah, it's a young offensive line, a lot of room to grow, and unfortunately for Butler, it's their 22nd straight loss here, but they lost to a real good team. I don't know, anytime you start a season by playing Erie Cathedral Prep and McDowell, you have your work cut out for you. And you saw what McDowell did in the second half. Orlando wanted to run the ball, and they ran the ball. They're just so many running backs, even putting that sophomore in there, Ray Jackson, how good he was. He could play at any time.
He could play most any other place.
So you look at the end of the first quarter, McDowell was up 14-0. They scored the first 2 touchdowns. Chris Jukno on a 39-yard pass to Sobolewski. McLaughlin the kick, and it was 7-0 at the 9:35 mark of the first period. 62 yards in 7 plays. Sobolewski came right back. Georgie made that nice punt return. We saw what a great athlete he is. 51-yard punt return and made it 14-0 after McLaughlin kick. That was at the 7:23 mark, and we lost track. I'm anxious to see what he caught, 8, 9, or 10 passes here today.
Absolutely.
And then Jukno, his second touchdown pass, 12-yard touchdown pass to tight end Matt McGregor. McLaughlin the kick, it was 21-0, 50 yards in 4 plays for the Trojans. That came in the second quarter, 4:25 mark. And then Justo Rivera in a 2-yard TD run. McLaughlin the kick, 28-0. Look, George, another short, 39 yards in 8 plays on that scoring drive for the Trojans. And then Butler finally got on board, 2:35 mark. Cooper Baxter, a 1-yard run, 63 yards, 9 plays for the Tornado. Titus with the kick. That's where it was at the half, 28-7. Third quarter, Butler did a pretty good job defensively, although to be honest about it, the Trojans were marred by holding penalty after holding penalty.
Coach can't like that. That's one thing he can't be happy about.
Their only score was a 31-yard field goal by Lenny McLaughlin to make it 31-7. They went 65 yards and 16 plays on that scoring drive. And then in the fourth quarter, McDowell scored at the 9:10 mark on Chris Jukno's 13-yard run. McLaughlin the kick, 38-7, 40 yards in 7 plays. How many short drives they had in this game where Butler was plagued by long drives, poor field position. And then finally at the 3:30 mark, backup quarterback Jacob Skolnick, he scored in the 2-yard run. And the backup kicker, Southamere, he had the kick, make it 45-7, 53 yards and 11 plays, and that's the final, 45-7. So, Georgia, Butler just has to keep plugging away. I have Erie coming up next, and then they're going to repeat the cycle with Prep coming here, Butler going up to McDowell, and then Erie, and then finishing with Slippery Rock.
Tough schedule. 6 of those games are brutal. This Erie team will have a ton of athletes and a lot of speed, but they won't have the bulk up front that McDowell has.
So McDowell goes to 2-0 in the season. Butler goes to 0-2. On behalf of our executive producer and cameraman, Carmen Bianco, my sidekick, the Swami George Abraham, this is Ed Cody wishing you a good night.